You know, on this whole replacement issue for Chief Justice Antonin Scalia, who died over the weekend, another option is being raised. The president just avoiding the fight altogether and giving a recess appointment. In other words, someone who temporarily fills that seat for the next year or so, and then a new Congress and or president can decide whether that person stays or they go outside and choose someone different. Tom Dupree is a former Deputy Assistant U.S. Attorney General. Tom, what do you make of that? Those are always controversial matters, and I think this very court ruled against the president doing just that with members to the National Labor Relations Board. But what do you think of the likelihood of that succeeding?
Neil, I think it's a pretty unlikely scenario, and here's why. In that Supreme Court case you mentioned, the court essentially said that the Senate is in control of defining when it's in recess. And so for that reason alone, I think this Senate is obviously going to be very careful about taking lengthy recesses that would enable the president to put a justice on the court through a recess appointment. So that's one obstacle. I think there are also political obstacles. We know that this president likes to circumvent Congress and do his own thing. And so while I wouldn't put it past this administration to try something like that, I think given the political climate, that might be a little too far, even for this president.
But do you find the political climate might not be as hospitable for Republicans if they do such a move, especially when voters might say, well, look, you've got a majority in the Senate. The odds with you guys in control of getting 60 votes for the president's pick for the Supreme Court are fairly low, so let the process work itself out. You look like you're adults. You torpedo the nomination that you don't like, assuming you do, and it's a win-win.
And Neil, there's no question that's another option for the Republicans. If there is a lot of political pressure to move the president's nominee to a vote, they can do precisely what you just suggested. They could put the nominee up, have a hearing, give him or her a full and fair day to explain their views, and then take a yes or no vote. So that's another option for the Republicans. The first question is, do they move the nominee to a hearing? Second question is, do they put the nominee up for a vote? So the Republicans have a lot of options.
What do you think they do?
My guess is that I think it is unlikely that they're going to put the person up for a hearing. I don't want to rule it out because I think a lot of it turns on who the president nominates. If the president goes for a quote-unquote consensus nominee, I think that increases the likelihood the Republicans will tee it up for a vote. Then again, the president could swing for the fences and put up what, a lot of the liberals say would be some dream nominee. And in that situation, I could see the Republicans simply not even convening a hearing. So I think it will depend on who the president selects.
So if the president submitted Elizabeth Warren's name, that's a non-starter, for example.
I would imagine that's a non-starter.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Very interesting having you.